and gentlemen, Garry Moore.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Johnny. Thanks, gang, very much. That was even better than when we rehearsed it. Awfully good to know. I was out here chatting with the audience just before the show. Today, in honor of Chinese New Year. Did you know it was Chinese New Year? They didn't tell you when you came in? You didn't bring your confetti in your hat? Well, this is the year of the rat, in case you hadn't heard. And we are bringing you a special treat for the eyes, an Oriental-style beauty who proudly bears the title of Miss Chinatown USA. And we'll meet her as soon as we meet our honorable panel here on our Honorable to Tell the Truth.
Gene Rayburn. Kitty Carlisle. Bill Cullen. And Peggy Cass.
May I be among the first to wish you happy year of the rat?
Oh, thank you. I didn't know this was the year of the rat.
The year of the rat. Well, that's for the daytime, the cities that are carrying us in the daytime.
Oh.
For the folks who are carrying us in the evening, we call it the year of the rodent.
Oh.
It's a little more high class. But we have three beautiful girls for you to meet. Let us now meet our Chinatown beauty.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Trudi Yung.
Number two.
My name is Trudi Yung.
Number three.
My name is Trudi Yung.
All three of them say they are Trudi Yung. Two of them, of course, are imposters. And here is the story of Trudi Yung. I, Trudi Yung, have been chosen Miss Chinatown USA. To celebrate the coming of the Year of the Rat, 16 Chinese-American girls were selected by their respective communities to compete in the national pageant in San Francisco's Chinatown. We all competed in a swimsuit parade. There was a talent competition, and I, as the winner, was awarded a scholarship and an all-expenses-paid world tour. However, instead of evening dress, we all wore the Chung San, the traditional Chinese dress with the high collar and slit skirt. My talent entry was also most suitable to the occasion. I sang a Mandarin ballad. And after my identity is revealed today, I will present a tiny sample of that musical number for our To Tell the Truth audience. Signed, Trudi Yung. Now, at this time, we're going to cut away for a few commercials, and if you will stay through the commercials and come back, we will explain to you in alarming detail why it is impossible for us to play this spot at all. I dare you to tune out.
Because hard-working, reheated, forgotten about pots and pans everywhere need all the help they can get, there's Dawn. Dawn cuts tough grease faster than any other liquid, leaving less to clean. Dawn takes grease out of your way.
The difference between a Puffs back-to-school pack and one with ordinary tissues is that in Puffs, you get Puffs. Superior softness.
Hey, mine.
In an affordable 3-pack. Puffs, the soft ones to care for your loved ones.
The brand new limited edition Disney Winnie the Pooh postage stamps are now available. The International Collectors Society is now offering the only collector's set ever issued to commemorate the evolution of Winnie the Pooh from a real bear born in Winnipeg, Canada, to a cartoon icon beloved around the world. Demand for this limited edition set has been so overwhelming, experts are already predicting this set will be prized by you and your loved ones for generations to come. Not available at your local post office, you can only get them through this special television offer. The complete set of stamps is only $9.95. You'll also receive a numbered certificate of authenticity and a protective display holder. But that's not all. When you order, you'll also get this beautiful Disney Winnie the Pooh airmail stamp, an $8 value absolutely free. Remember, you get the legal tender Disney Winnie the Pooh stamps, a numbered certificate of authenticity, and protective display holder, all for $9.95. And when you act now, you'll also receive this stunning Disney Winnie the Pooh airmail stamp, an $8 value absolutely free. There's a limit of 6 per household. Call toll-free now.
I like having fresh-smelling laundry every day. So how do I keep things fresh every day and not spend my life doing laundry? Simple. I switch to Bounce. No other sheet keeps our things fresher day after day.
That's the unbeatable freshness of Bounce, which is time-released slowly to help your laundry stay fresh for up to 5 days.
Bounce helps us look and feel our best every day because it helps keep our things fresh and static-free.
For freshness that stays up to 5 days, turn to Bounce.
All of the Hollywood hunks watch Game Show Network.
When I'm not out on the prairie, I watch Game Show Network. All we sweat hogs watch Game Show Network.
Alone or with company, I watch Game Show Network.
When I'm not at the Regal Beagle, I watch Game Show Network.
I always watch Game Show Network with my 3 sons.
After a hard day of counting down the hit, you know that I run home, turn on my television set, and watch Game Show Network.
Now, if you were with us just before the commercials, you heard me say that this next spot is going to be impossible for us to play. So impossible that we're not going to play it. Now, the reason for that is, Paul Alder, can we take a picture of these 3 lovely young ladies? We have over here 3 ladies all claiming to be Miss Chinatown USA. Now, as you know, the way the game is played, only one of them really is Miss Chinatown USA. The other 2 are imposters. It is the job of our panel to question them, and then by their astute questioning to figure out who is the real one. Surprise, we already did it. We did it, but the fellow who was running our tape machine downstairs, Mr. Robert Sarnoff, was out to lunch, and he did not press up the tape machine. So now there's no way we can play the game all over again because the panel knows exactly who is Miss Chinatown USA. The audience here in the studio knows who it is. The only one who doesn't know is you. So we will forego any questioning, and let's, the audience, you and me, and the camera one, we'll decide whether we think, just on looks, whether we think Miss Chinatown USA is number 1, or number 2, or number 3. Now, as I have told you, the usual way it works is we pay $50 for each wrong vote. We pay $500 if all the votes are wrong. And let's try to remember, panel, if you can, how you voted when we thought the tape machine was running. Right? Gene, you had cast the first vote.
Yes, Gary.
Who did you vote for?
Well, as I said, I think all 3 of them are beautiful ladies, and they're all winners in my eye. Because what she said about the Mandarin song she sang sounded so real, and as if she really knew all about that song, I voted for number 3, and I'd like to tell her now that I'm in love with her.
And Kitty, for whom do you vote?
I voted for number 3, too. They're all perfectly lovely, and I think, as I said, there are no thorns in that bouquet of roses, but I think it's number 3.
Well, that's the way the voting went first time around, and it will continue. Bill, how did you vote first time?
Well, Gary, if I may, before I register my vote as I voted the first time, I would like to say something, if I may, in all fairness, in defense of the technical staff here at this network, which shall be nameless, except we know Robert Sarnoff is associated with NBC.
Or he was until today.
Yeah, but I, Gary, even when you were over at that place across the street, was working here, and I've been working here some 20 years, and I know the technical crew here. There's no one on this show that I don't know and know intimately. I have a great deal of faith in them, and I don't think ever before it actually happened technically on this network, because they really are sincerely good.
I agree with you.
Really good. And I think, no, it's a time for seriousness, and I think they deserve that. Anyway, I voted for number 2 because I thought she was lovely and I liked her answers, and I also love numbers 1 and 3, which total 4.
And Peggy, if you will recall, how did you vote?
Oh.
Oh, go ahead,
You can vote for O. There is no O. There's got to be a 1, 2, or 3.
It was such a long time ago. But I think that I just voted for number 1 because I think she's truly gorgeous.
Well, that's the way the voting went here, and let's see how it checks up with the way that you would have voted at home had you been here playing along with our panel. And so will the real Miss Trudi Yung please stand up. And it's number 3. Thank you, Trudy. We'll be back to see you in a minute and hear a bit of your Mandarin song. And tell our audience now, our audience, what your name is, please, number 1, and what you do.
My name is Mitsuko Vang, and I work for consumer savings company called Price Club.
Ah, nice to have you here. And number 2, please, tell us about yourself.
My name is Linda Leon. I'm a department manager at Bloomingdale.
Now then, in our original taping, Trudi Yung, Miss Chinatown USA, sang for us the Mandarin song that helped her win the title of Miss Chinatown USA. And Trudi, would you tell us again the story, please, the sad story of the song?
First of all, I'd like to tell the title of it is Xun Meng Yuan, which means finding a dream garden. This song is about a girl whose love has gone far away, and she longs to see him, but knows the only way she can is through her dreams.
Sounds like an American song. All right, Trudy, sing it for us in Chinese, please.
我又回到我的寻梦园，往日的梦依稀又出现，想要重温熟悉的美梦，会不会好梦难忘？
And young ladies, to further make amends for our original boo-boo and not having been able to tape this the first time around, we're going to disregard the usual prize-winning ceremony and just split $500 amongst you. And thank you all very, very much for that. Now then, getting on with the new and the different, you know, the National Safety Council has categorically stated that firefighting is the most hazardous occupation in our country. And our next guest knows about those hazards, certainly as well as anybody in the world, so stay tuned for an important To Tell the Truth segment.
Sure, I want to kill bacteria, but for my money, I want more. Check out new Joy Antibacterial. It kills germs on hands and cuts tough grease using 50% less than this stuff. Joy Antibacterial. Gives me more for less.
The new Virginia Beach. Call for more information.
Welcome to Betty's Ocean View Diner. I'm Betty.
We work hard to make a good first impression. We've got to look our best all the time. If the waiters don't look clean, what are they going to think about the kitchen? One waiter in a stained shirt, and forget it. Our food makes really tough stains. Before, with the detergents we tried, we couldn't get this grease out. But now, with this new Tide with bleach alternative, I can really see a difference.
It's got to be clean. It's got to be Tide. This is the best-looking family on the block, and I'm proud of it. Thanks for coming.
To get a fresh mountain spring scent in your clothes, you could add mountain snow, wildflowers, or spring water to your wash. Or just wash them in new Mountain Spring Tide. The same great cleaning, now with a fresh Mountain Spring scent. Try new Mountain Spring Tide. Look for it along with regular Tide.
And now let's greet our knowledgeable fireman.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Dennis Smith.
Number 2.
My name is Dennis Smith.
Number 3.
My name is Dennis Smith.
And here is the firefighting tale of Dennis Smith. It's a great one. I, Dennis Smith, am a New York City fireman. A professional firefighter has a dirty, hard, brutalizing life. When the alarm sounds, you never know what's going to happen. At times, our job has little to do with fire. There are the malicious false alarms, the administering of help to dying babies, quarreling families, and people hooked on drugs. Nonetheless, to most of the neighborhood, we're looked upon primarily as representatives of the white establishment. But we stay on the job and we don't ask to be transferred. We feel we have something to give where it's most desperately needed. I have written a book about what it's like to work in a neighborhood that has more homicides, drug traffic, and prostitution than anywhere else in the United States, as well as the highest fire rate in the entire city of New York. The title of my book is Report from Engine Company Number 82. Signed, Dennis Smith. And we'll start the questioning, please, with Miss Peggy Cass.
Thank you. Number 1, where is Engine Company number 82?
It's in the South Bronx on 169th Street and Intervale Avenue.
Thank you. Number 3, is it true that firemen are terrific cooks, or that you all have a terrific cook in the firehouse?
Well, in each firehouse, there's always a few people who are very good at it.
Yeah. Nobody's ever invited me to the firehouse for dinner, but I'd be pleased to accept if anybody wants to. Number 2, where'd you go to school?
I went to PS number 25 in the Bronx.
Okay, but number 1, where'd you go to college?
New York University.
Are you still going?
No.
Number 3, did you get a master's?
No, I'm in the process right now.
Oh. Number 2, yeah, by the way, I read the reviews of this book. It's got the best notices of anything that came out this year. Really absolutely sensational. Have you sold it to the movies, number 1?
It's in the process of being
Gene
sold.
Hackman will probably play you, right? Number 3, do you get as much guff as the cops? Do you take as much guff as the cops?
Unfortunately, yes.
They do? I didn't know that. Number 2, do people drop stuff on top of you while you're trying to put out fires up in that neighborhood?
It does happen occasionally, yes.
Thank you. But number 1, aren't a lot of people burning down their own apartment buildings in the Bronx because they're losing so much money? I guess I'm asking, is there much arson?
Yeah, there is a lot of arson, and it has not only to do with losing money, but it has to do with fires which are started because of spite or to settle a domestic dispute.
Set fire to the house? That's some way to settle a dispute.
I should say so.
Crack on the jaw is good enough for anybody.
Gene Rayburn?
Gary, I have to disqualify myself here because I met Dennis Smith about 1.5 years ago when I shot some film at Engine Company 82 for my late lamented TV show, Hell of a Town. I've also interviewed him for Monitor Radio. I've read every word of his book, and it's fabulous. And I'm so glad you got him on this show.
You might as well stayed home today. You didn't get to ask questions in the first spot, and now we've got a live show.
Phoned it in there. What am I doing here?
So a disqualification, of course, counts for a wrong vote.
Send the money anyway, Gary.
Oh, it certainly will, Gene. And Kitty.
Never mind, even though you haven't been much help, we love you.
Thank you, my dear.
Number 3, I'm delighted to be able to talk to you because it's something I have never understood. Why do people, when you come to put out a fire, want to hurt you and throw things at you? It is something I cannot figure out.
Well, I can only go by the neighborhood I work in, and it's just a lack of education on the part of the people. Just that simple.
Well, if somebody comes to administer first aid, you don't bite their hands.
Well, in their eyes, we're the establishment, and that's what they look at. And you try to speak to them, but you just can't get, you get through to a small percentage, but it's very difficult.
It seems insane. Number 2, I thought that when things occurred like, ill babies and people hooked on drugs, that one called that number in New York that people call, 911. Mm-hmm. And how do you all get involved with that sort of thing?
Well, because basically lines are always tied up when somebody goes to the telephone. They can always pull the little number on the firebox, and they always know the fire department will come whether it's a false alarm or not. In other words, there will be somebody there.
I see. Now, number 1, how come you decided to write a book? By the way, does everybody in the fire department have a college degree?
No, but there are many who do.
I said, number 3, how did you decide to write a book? Who encouraged you?
Well, just I felt it was time for something like this to come out.
And did you go to college?
Yes.
And you wrote it yourself?
With someone's help.
I see. Number 2, what
And there goes the buzzer, and finally we go to Bill Cullen.
I'll stay with number 2. Number 2, how long are the shifts you work on a given day from the time you go to work until the time you leave?
Well, it all depends on what shift I'm on. I mean, we have a night shift and we have a day shift, and usually it's from 6 o'clock until 6 o'clock, and then with 3 days off, working 8 days.
They are still 12-hour shifts, though, as they were in the old days. Is that right?
Well, yes, basically, yes, and then you can take time off.
The reason I mention that is in Pittsburgh, my grandmother, and this is true, was the last matron of the Pittsburgh City Fire Department. They had matrons who would take care of the beds the next morning, make up the beds and that, and they follows. As a matter of fact, I have a great affinity for the fire department. My grandfather was a fireman in Pittsburgh, and he died a hero's death at a fire.
How?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
No, truly. Well, it wasn't exactly a hero's death. Well, he was at a fire, and he got squirted on and got wet, and he caught cold. It was December, but no, truly, that is true. As a result of that, he died, and I still have the medal there. Now, that was in Pittsburgh. Back to New York, number 1, if I may. How many firemen are there in this city of ours?
11,300.
Now, number 3, Welfare Island. What part does that play in the fire department?
That's where we go for the basic training.
Number 2, I think you mentioned in your book, I read in a review, that New York City was not your, if you are the correct one, was not your favorite place as far as a city in which to live or a city in which to be a fireman. May I ask why you stay in New York City then?
Well, I think that New York is the place to be. I've grown up here, I know the people, and I really think the South Bronx, where I grew up in, is the place that, you know, has the most trouble, and this is the place I wanted to be and help.
Thank you.
There goes the bell. That means that we can ask no more questions, that we must make up our mind who we think it is, and we'll take another look, you and I, and look at number 1, and number 2, and number 3. As usual, we pay $50 for a wrong vote. We pay $500 if everybody strikes out. And Peggy Cass, you look like you're having a tough
Well,
time.
I am, but I don't think number 3 is Irish. I think he's Italian. So that's that. I think number 1 and 2 are both Irish. But I think I don't know. I think number 1 looks like a writer.
All right, fine enough. Let's go down to Gene Rayburn.
I had to disqualify myself, and I'm happy to say that will count as a wrong vote. Right?
All right, just wanted to reestablish that, and so we go to Kitty.
Well, that's funny. I think number 3 looks black Irish. And I don't think number 1's a fireman. And number 2 looks like every fireman I ever saw, so I voted for him.
All right, we got a 1 and a 2 and a disqualification. And Bill Cullen, how are you coming out?
Gee, it's funny. I think number 1 looks black Irish. And I think number 3 looks like every fireman I ever saw, so I voted for number 3.
Well, fair enough. It comes out as a tie all the way across, and so we're going to have to find out. See, this is tough, isn't it? Yeah. All right, the votes are all in. Will the real? Hey, you're going to be so surprised.
Yeah.
Really, no kidding. All right, here we go. Will the real Dennis Smith please stand up? There's Dennis over there. Thank you, Dennis.
No, it doesn't look like a fireman to me.
And let's find out about your friends here. Marvelous job, guys. Number 2, sir. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Murray Kemp, and I work for a firm that analyzes television household ratings.
You are the fellow who finds out how highly programs are rated?
We analyze them, yes,
He's
Gary.
a splendid-looking fellow.
And don't forget I voted for him. I voted for him.
Very well-dressed man. And let's hear it for number 2.
Thank you.
Number 3, sir, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Ronald Alper, and I teach the 6th grade at PS 86 in Queens.
Hey, good for you. Dennis Smith, quite aside from the fact that the book is very, very well written, have you any explanation as to why it would catch on the way it has now? Do you think that there is a crying need on the part of the public to understand the problem?
Yeah, I think so. The firefighting and you know, the whole scope of fire prevention has been so neglected in this country in recent years, and we do lose, for instance, about $3 billion in property damage each year. Last year in this country, we lost 12,000 people in fires. And it's a problem of just of extreme consequence, and fortunately, we're beginning to think about it again.
I like also to think that sometimes it's because the public is becoming somewhat appalled with its own behavior. And thank you, Dennis, very, very much for being with us. And thank you, gentlemen, also on behalf of the Tell the Truth.
Mayor, you've got to take mugs out.
Okay. You never know when you're going to discover something entirely new. But today, you're ready, because you've got new Secret Sheer Dry. The strongest dryness ingredients, pH balanced in a form that glides on sheer.
Is this your dog?
New Secret Sheer Dry. Strong enough for him, but it's clearly for you.
Good boy.
Point your toes. I love teaching 6-year-olds. They listen. But my daughter, Lori, she's 16. Need I say more? So on things that are important, like teeth, I show instead of tell. My teeth? Of course they're healthy. I'm a Crest kid. I use Crest Tartar Protection because it helps remove plaque, protect against visible tartar buildup, and strengthen teeth against cavities. You know, this role model stuff really seems to be working.
Behind that healthy smile, there's a Crest kid.
Look closely. Can you tell the difference between these two contact lenses? They're the same prescription, the same brand name, but this lens cost 50% less and was delivered right to my front door. That's the Lens Express difference. Great savings and great service. Hi, I'm Linda Carter. I wear contact lenses, and I wouldn't trust these eyes to just anyone. I call Lens Express and get my replacement contacts delivered to me the very next day. It's terrific.
Call for this free Lens Express catalog. It's full of savings on contact lenses. All the top brands like AccuView, Ciba, Bausch & Lomb, Wesley Jessen. And because they're sent directly to you, you'll save up to 50% off the retail price.
I trust these baby blues to Lens Express. Look closely, and you'll see one very satisfied customer.
Now you can replace your contacts as often as your doctor recommends and save. Call for a free Lens Express catalog.
Well, I think all of us here have learned a great lesson today. I want to congratulate the whole team, the panel, the backstage team, and everybody. When a crisis happens, if you just keep your cool, nothing happens. There's nothing to be nervous about, and you'll... You really don't notice it. We'll sing again.
Oh, poor Garry. Our central characters today will receive the Samsonite Classic Attaché case, featuring a color-coordinated portfolio and exterior, light, strong magnesium frames, and stuff and stain-resistant cover from Samsonite. Promotional consideration provided by Best Western Motels, the nation's largest chain of 1,200 fine owner-operated motels in 900 cities from coast to coast. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Dixon, Bill Todman production. You don't know how to tell the truth, yeah.